Subscribe and click on the bell icon to be the first to see the latest videos.
I keep coming back to Transformance Forums. This is the 7th time in this year. So this morning somebody asked me, are you on their payroll? So I'm going to ask, once Avid is here, I'm going to ask him to pay me as well. So we are talking about employee engagement and experience today. So the agenda is all about being engaged and also experiencing it. So we're going to have some very interesting rules for the day. Let's try and keep it as interactive as possible. And my commitment is I will keep throwing challenges for everyone here to make it interactive. Okay, so no one gets to go free. Well, so I was thinking about what exactly is employee engagement. So the first thing that stood out to me is that no matter which HR professional's resume I pick up, I think the favorite two words are employee engagement. Okay? And that's, then I was asking one of my interns that which do you think is the most common word that you would see in an HR associate's resume? And she said exactly the same thing. Then I asked another student in a B school, why is it that you want to get into HR? And she said, I'm fond of conducting employee engagement activities. So these two words keep coming round and round and round. But I was just wondering, do we really understand what employee engagement is all about? And we also try to connect it with business strategy. So my question is, can you really connect employee engagement with business strategy? So we'll get those answers hopefully during the day. In the meantime, as I was still doing my research on what different people think about what employee engagement is, I came across two another sets of words. People play a lot with words, a lot of wordsmiths around. So somebody said having fun at work is what you would call it as employee engagement. So having fun at work means having fun activities at work, typically cutting birthday cakes, decorating the office with balloons, having bean bags in the office and all of that, having carom boards in the middle of the work bay and all of that. So that is fun at work. So there was a debate. So someone said, no, that's not what employee engagement is. If you have to have people engaged in your organization, you should make work fun. So it's not fun at work, but it's all about making work fun. That was kind of convincing for me for a while. And I really thought actually making work fun is the answer to having engaged employees till what happened last week. I come from a pharma background, in the sense I'm a pharmacist. So I have this natural inclination to volunteer myself to do a night duty when there is a patient in a hospital that I know, right? So whether it is my family, extended family or friends, I offer to do that. And more so when it's a female patient, I volunteer to go and spend a night at the hospitals. I just love being there. And another set of people I love interacting with are students from B schools. So I was talking to all kinds of people. So I happened to be at a hospital over the weekend at night. And obviously, I'm not supposed to be sleeping when I'm on a hospital duty, and I didn't sleep. And I was just walking around, and I met one woman who was sitting in a corner with her cup of coffee. So I just went over to her, and I thought, let me start talking. She appeared to be a doctor. So I said, let me start having a conversation with her, because we were the only two people who were alive and awake at that time. So I was talking to her, and she told me that I just love my job. I love being here. So I said, yes, of course. You're impacting lives. You're saving people. So you must love your job, obviously. So what's great about it? She said, you know what? I head the mortuary here. So I'm not really surrounded by people whose lives I can save directly. But what I'm doing is I'm heading the mortuary, I'm heading a team of 7 or 8 people who work around the clock. But what we do is when people are at situations where they don't know how to deal with it, we are there to help them. So then I was wondering on this definition of fun at work or work is fun. Neither of these definitions fit into this role. Have you thought about how do you make work fun for somebody who's spending all their work hours with dead bodies around them, carrying out multiple autopsies in the day, and still saying the work that I do is extremely inspiring and extremely uplifting? Just think about it. Where does keeping yourself engaged at work really come from? So there are questions whether the employer or the organization has to make work for you, make the atmosphere around in such a way that you feel engaged, or is it within each one of us to make ourselves feel engaged at what we do? So I want to leave the day with this starting thought. And before I call on our first speaker, the keynote speaker, the rules of the day. So since we're going to talk about engagement and experience, there has to be a lot of engagement around the room. So you see this fish bowl here? So this has chits with names of each one of you. It looks a little less, I need to find out whether all are there. But the rule is like this. So once a speaker finishes the session, we're not going to leave it open for question answers. We'll do all those open question answers during the networking breaks. Once a speaker finishes the session, I will request the speaker to pull out a chit from this bowl. And whoever name is on the chit has to ask a question to the speaker. Okay? So everybody has to be absolutely, you have to bring your entire self and listen to every word that's being spoken. And if your name gets picked up with the lucky draw, you have to ask the question. Now, if you don't ask the question, then it is up to the speaker to ask you a question, right? So speakers also pay attention. You have to be able to ask a question to the person who gets pulled in this lucky draw, okay? So with that, we won't waste much time. We have a long list of speakers. So I will invite on stage Sahil Nair. It's always a pleasure for me to invite him on stage, being a dear friend of mine. As a practice, I will not use organizations' names and anything about the speakers, because all of that you can read and find out. And I hope and wish that people do all that research and homework. So I don't want to say anything more about Sahil. Let him come over and watch the magic.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Slightly better, okay. So a couple of days back when I received a call to say, would you like to come and do the keynote? And this is the topic. I said, fantastic, a topic very close to most of our hearts, because when we started off our careers, all we were told was, actually the generations have changed, and Harini touched upon it slightly in the beginning, but I'll give you a slightly different perspective. When I was a management trainee at Siemens long ago, not very long ago, we had a wonderful facility at Kharghar, and I stay at Burli Seaface. Siemens provided us a wonderful company bus, which would come at my doorstep at 7 in the morning. Not a morning person. You miss the bus, you miss office, right? Get into that bus, sleep through the bus, reach Kharghar, go straight to the cafeteria, wonderful food, free, enjoy the food, spend 8 hours, exactly 8 hours, get into the bus, come back home. Not a single person would miss the bus, irrespective of where they stayed in Bombay, because it was free, right? And it forced you to be efficient. That was the generation, right? Moving ahead, what you just had to guarantee people was good bus, good food, and thoda kaam waam kar liya, you can retire from the organization. Very, very simple. No stress, nothing to do. Come, do your shit, go back home, you're sorted. Then came a time where everybody said, no, Netflix, hyper-personalization. the AI in Netflix needs to exactly tell me that if I've loved Sacred Games, what am I going to love next? And if the delta between what I'm watching today and what you recommend tomorrow is too much, I'm going to say, yeah, I'll figure my own shit out. I don't need you to tell me what I should do, right? And the complexity for CHROs today is not about power of one, is not about hyper-personalization, but is about understanding the divide between who you are, who you want to be, and essentially where the organization is going. Because the organization, obviously, and the leadership team has a vision of where they want to take the organization, but who we are is not necessarily who we be. And what we take ourselves to work is very, very different from who we are. And therefore, finding that soft spot of where you come alive is what is very important. And what brings Manish alive is very, very different from what will bring Harini alive, and to each one of you in this room. So what I'm going to do now is to just get you guys a little more alive, because you and I are not going to be looking at dead bodies, hopefully not, and not going to be being happy about doing that job, which is an exception, which most of us in HR love doing. We make the exception the rule, and then the ball shifts to actually say what was right is no longer right, and now this is right, right? So can I request all of you to please rise? What you need to very quickly do is spend the next 60 seconds interacting with at least 2 people, at least I'm saying. So which means 30 seconds per person, not on your table. And what you need to figure out is 2 things. 1, ask them a question. When was the last time you experienced a wow? Okay? The first question you can ask is, when was the last time you experienced a wow? And second is, while they answer, try and soak in the answer to say, what's the vibe you're getting from that person? Is it a fantastic vibe? Is it a thanda vibe? Is it a saying, subah subah exercise kara rahe, pagal hai? Get that vibe, okay? If you can do it in 15 seconds, very, very crisp answers, very crisp. I'll give you 2 minutes, but go around, try and get 3 to 5 people. It'll be fantastic, all right? आपका समय शुरू होता है अब. You have some distractions coming your way, so be ready for that. नहीं जा- Alrighty, alrighty. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Time out, people. Time out, time out, time out. All right, time out. Okay, don't go back to your seats. Don't go back to your seats. Figure out 5 people who you got the most amazing vibe from. You may have spoken to 2 or 3. You may have spoken to 1 or 2. Get groups of 5 with whom you got the best vibes from. Some who you spoke to, some who you saw from a distance but didn't really speak to. Get them together on your table. Get your best 5 people and come together. Don't just sit together because it's convenient. Come on, yeah, look at each other. Yeah, you're nice, come here. All right, 5 on each table, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's roll. 5, 6 on each table. पहले आप आ जाइए. No more like-minded people. Like-minded, good vibes. Sit. Pick a table and sit. Okay? Wonderful. All right. How did you guys feel this table? How did you feel? Amazing. How did you feel? Please don't repeat words. Satisfied. Energetic. How did you feel? Quick. Curious. Vibrant. Elated. Happiness. Fun. Bol bhi do. Connected. Wow. Positive. Interesting. Exciting. All right. So that was just a quick warm-up. Yeah. Breakfast खाया नहीं, Transformers ने दिया नहीं, तो थोड़ा हम warm-up अपने आप कर लेते हैं. All right. Let's get to the crux of this, right? You spend some time. What did I do? I kept playing with the volume of the music, right? I increased it to a level where someone actually walked up to me and said, "Can you reduce it? We can't hear each other." And then some people actually got even more closer while talking, right? And some people were struggling to find the next person. And some people very naturally gravitated to different people in the room, right? These are basic human instincts. To some people, it comes very naturally. To some people, they need to put in an effort, right? What is important is to be self-aware. And that's what you got a slight flavor of today, that are you very comfortable walking up to a stranger and sharing the real wow moment or a fabricated wow moment? And therefore, what you need to marry between the two is, does the vibe, because vibes don't go wrong. Yeah? From a distance, you can realize, wow, I want to talk to this person. Or you say, oh shit, the creep's coming. Let's just turn the other way around. Right? We all get it. What I need you to do now is, in your groups where there are good vibes happening, there's a chart paper in front of you. I'm going to make this slightly interactive and a workshop kind of format so that we make it a lot more engaging. 3 aspects. Anything to do with experience has got to do always with constraints. You get onto a flight, and so many times we see it at the airport where people are shouting at guys on the counter, educated guys, gone to Harvard, with good organizations, very senior executives, behaving like kids at the airport and saying, you don't know, I have another meeting, how can you overbook a flight, why have I missed the flight? We all do that, we all guilty of it, right? When you get there, the guy is standing there, you and I both know it's not his fault. He's just doing his job. He can't even give you a solution, right? He has constraints. With those constraints, you and I make choices. And from those choices, we encounter consequences. So my model of engagement and experience are 3 C's. Sudhir, welcome. 3 C's. The first C is about constraints. The second C is about choices. And the last C is about consequences. So what you guys need to do is pick up any business problem, put it onto your chart, and tell me what are the constraints do you have in creating a wow experience. Let me give you an example. You have an issue of employees coming late to work every day. All right? That's a business problem. They come in late, they sit late, productivity gets impacted, expense gets impacted because you need to take care of their reimbursements if they sit late, food, blah, 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 blah. So look at it from a business lens, list out just 2 or 3 business problems. What will be the constraints? What will be the choices you have as competent HR professionals? And if you exercise that choice, what will be the consequence? Fair deal? You got 2 or 3 big business problems. What are the constraints? What are the choices? And what are the consequences? And then very quickly, we'll have a quick exchange of thoughts. It's a short 30-minute session. So maybe we'll get 1 or 2 groups to share their ideas, and then we'll do a quick debrief. Any questions right now? Have you understood what we want to achieve? Everyone? Yes? 1 or 2, you can pick up whatever you're comfortable with, but try and do justice to that problem. So if there is a problem, try and think through from all aspects, what are the constraints for me to give a wow? With those constraints, what are the choices that I have? And if I exercise 1 or 2 of those choices, what would be the consequences? Right? Don't pick up more than 2, will be difficult because you have only 10 minutes. Pick up even 1 problem per table. I think so as a group, we'll learn a lot. We'll learn from each other. Any questions, anyone? Do you want some music to distract you, or do you want silence? Okay, enjoy the silence then.
Rationalize their expectations and that is a choice. That's a choice.
So what are the ways that what are the other ways that the bonding will be?
What is the purpose of it? The purpose of all these get-together.
We need to understand this is
Experience and engagement, a person not taking ownership of the job. And why is it that they are not taking? Why is it I coming late? Is there something to do with intersectionality of age, intersectionality of experience, intersectionality of what is important for me? I don't know. So now that we have identified what is the issue, what are the choices that we have? What is it that you would like to do? How would you like each one of you involved? How would you like to address it?
Which team is ready? That team put their hand up first. They want to go first, second, third. Fantastic. Can we have mics quickly passed around? Be seated wherever you are. Very quickly, bullet points. Constraint, choice, consequence. एक mic उधर दे दीजिए, एक mic इधर दे दीजिए. Thank you so much. और एक mic इधर दे दीजिए. All right, you want to go first? Roll.
I will go first. So the constraint that we thought about.
Okay. Can you tell us your name, please?
Sure. My name is Neville, and I work for a company called Harbinger Group based out of Pune. We're an IT services company.
Fantastic.
And the constraint that we saw was common amongst all of us is the lack of connected or engaged managers in the organization. So that's what we looked at, and connected in the sense of people connect, recognition, growth, mentoring. It's a very broad topic, but that's what we thought is common across all of us.
Fantastic. So I would just paraphrase that. You're saying managers are not connected with team members on multiple aspects.
That's correct.
Got it. Roll.
Okay, so that's the constraint. So what do you do? What are the choices you have to change that constraint or solve that constraint? So
Sure. Are you picking up any one of those threads? Say mentoring, coaching, recognition?
All of them.
All of them. Okay. And you have choices for all of them?
Yes.
Roll. Okay.
So the choices could be obviously coaching or mentoring the manager to overcome the obstacles that he or she is facing, putting the person through some focus level training, especially with regards to teamwork, whether the person is a first time manager, a seasoned manager, understanding what the outcome is going to be and base your training around that. Also, if you want, the manager can set team-based KRAs for the individual manager so that he or she can actually work on these particular parameters.
Got you.
If that doesn't change, then consider a role change, because not all managers are born managers. We have some individual people who we put into roles of managers and they fail. So can we change the role, and if all fails, then fire the person.
All right. Consequences?
So yeah, so consequences is, the way we looked at consequences was we said that if this works, what will happen?
Okay.
So that's the way we looked at
Sure.
consequences. So obviously, if it works, then you have result-oriented performance that will impact business growth. You'll have teams which are happier, which are engaged, which will perform better, which will impact the organization's performance, quality will improve, timeliness, accountability will improve. You will see lower attrition in the organization, direct
Got it.
outcome. And finally, if you have a great manager, you will have great and engaged teams.
Super. Give him a huge round of applause, guys. Well done. Let's move here. But before we move here, that was a helicopter view, 30,000 feet. Give me one constraint, one choice, or 3 or 4 choices, and one consequence, or 2 or 3 consequences to the particular choice. And give me tactical stuff, right? That is very strategic. हाँ, CHRO, ये करो, ये करो, ये करो, ये कर लो, नहीं हुआ तो चलो ये कर लो, तो fire कर लो, ठीक? Bring it down. I am a senior executive, 2 साल experience, नहीं समझता इतना. Break it down for me, just for everyone's benefit. Go for it.
My name is Rekha Sankla. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm working in the space of HR and learning and development.
Welcome, Rekha. Thanks.
The constraint that we have is the reservation for serving alcohol in an internal office or a business party.
Ah, early in the morning. All right.
And we are in the retail space, so we have to have a lot of it. And that's the reservation. Okay, what are the choices that we have? One of them is that you increase the interactive activities like gamification during the event, where people have to be active and they have to participate. The one you have done in the fishbowl, we cannot miss that out.
Sure.
That's one of them. Have few people within the group who is having a party, and one of them volunteering as managing those people who would go overboard.
Okay.
So it's a peer-to-peer.
Right.
So these are the 2 choices. One of the other choices that we had was add a family member. So bring one family or a friend to the party. That was also one of the choice. But we are
Bring the girlfriend or spouse, it'll solve everything. Okay, go ahead.
the consequences is that when we have the gamification, naturally the attention giving to this event is going to be more.
Okay.
And when you are having a peer to help the other peer bring it to awareness, okay, it's getting overboard, it always functions because it's non-judgmental. Tomorrow, Monday morning, I'm not going to give you looks, and we are still going to talk. So
All right.
these are the 2 consequences that would have by having the peer to do, volunteer to take care of people who would go. And out of 100, I think it would be only 4 or 5 who would go that, and we should not stop that.
Sure. We'll do it in the coffee break. We're running out of time. We can't have a beer break, but we'll have a coffee break. Come.
But I agree, no, don't stop alcohol.
Don't stop alcohol. Okay. The question is not about stopping alcohol. The question is, no, I'm paraphrasing. The question is how many CHROs can convince their CEOs to continue alcohol and promise them nothing will go wrong, it won't impact the brand.
I hope you are not talking about the break.
Let's go here. I thought you guys had a mic? Yeah.
Hi everyone, morning. I'm Archana, I'm from Adani Electricity, Mumbai. So basically the problem which we have identified, maybe you all can identify with the same, is the salary comparison amongst the old lot in the organization who is more experienced and the new one who joins the organization with more expertise and qualification. So this was the problem which we have identified, and the solution, the choices which we have chosen are like either you can arrange a one-on-one discussion with them, make them understand the reason behind their salary structure, basically for the old lot, and you can recommend skill upgradation for them, some course through some courses or anything. And if nothing works out, then you go for the salary revision, maybe mid-year or annual salary revision. So the consequences can be if the employee is satisfied with his salary structure, the understanding of it, and if he is ready to upgrade his skills, so more competitive environment, or if you go for the salary revision, the attrition rate will decrease. And another consequence will you might have to handle more such cases.
All right, everyone convinced? I see some mixed faces in the room. Haan, theek hai. I need to talk to you in the break time, so they'll talk to you in the break.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, team. All right, the bell's ringing again and again. So I am conscious of time and I don't want to eat into the next speaker's slot. But yes, any question or you want to share your observation? Observation, good. Very quickly. 30 seconds, all yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Jyotika. I work with the Parimal Group. So as a team, one constraint that we thought of was dealing with a multi-generational workforce.
Fantastic.
Where we have more millennials joining in, and some leaders tend or like or don't like the fact, right? So we'll discuss 2 choices. One of it is mentoring and reverse mentoring. mentoring from the leadership to the younger generation, and reverse mentoring, since we are into digitalization and AI, how do they help them get tech savvy?
Got it.
Okay, and the second choice was also, throughout sensitization, right from the time the employee joins the organization, talk more about it, have the common purpose.
Sure.
As to drive the one and the team spirit, right? And we hope that once we do this, these two things really effectively, the consequences will be a more successful team, right? Cohesiveness and more collaboration across the workspace.
Got it. Just want to take you a little back to the Oxford Dictionary. Are we confusing consequence with impact? Leave that thought with you, right? Think about it. Nevertheless, I don't want to go to the fishbowl. If there are any questions, happy to take them live. Otherwise, like the conference chair. Otherwise, the conference chair is going to ask me to pick one up. But I'm not going to do that. Anyone has any questions, thoughts, suggestions, ideas, observations? Did you find? Whatever we did today is what you already know. Okay, I've not told you something that you don't know. All I'm trying to say is get yourself to start thinking as you go back to your workplaces. How do you be a lot more strategic about creating a wow experience through meaningful engagement? Yeah, a wow experience through meaningful engagement. Any questions, any thoughts? Yes. Happy to take just one. I know we're conscious of time. Sure, please.
HR takes so much of effort to do these motivational activities. What motivates the HR, or who motivates the HR?
Fantastic. This is a question that I've been asking from the time I got into HR, to say who is HR for HR, right? And many a times I have got answers, but not convincing answers. And as I've sat back and introspected, I think we need to understand, when you say someone is very powerful, where does the person draw his or her power from? That's the answer. Because if you're going to expect business to motivate you, okay, fine. One of the most favorite questions I ask all people who I interview is, what makes you more happy? An appreciation mail from me as your boss, or an appreciation mail from a business stakeholder? And that draws you back to saying, where is the locus of control of the individual? Concept. And from there, you link locus of control to actually say that each one of us in our daily lives will experience highs and lows. But the question is, what is that trigger that allows you to bounce back when you're at your lowest low? And I think while we may find a lot of validation externally, we may find great appreciation, but ultimately, if I don't feel I did a kick-ass job today, irrespective whether you guys give me a 5 on 5, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, if I think I'm a rock star and you guys give me a 1 on 5, I need to smell the coffee. Make sense? Slightly hawa mein answer, but if you connect the dots, hopefully. Thank you so much, guys. You were a fantastic audience. I really enjoyed being with you. Have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sahil. So no fishbowl, obviously, because this was very interactive. So saved. Everyone is saved. He's also saved of some trouble over here. And Sudhir also has to do the honors of presenting the memento to Sahil.
Come, Sahil. That's my privilege.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thank you.